What's good, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Know Your Universe. Today, we'll be taking a look at one of Marvel's most iconic villains. We're talking about the Mandalorian. The Mandarin. Whoops. Before we get started, kindly give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification icon so you never miss out on any of our upcoming content. If you're not an avid follower of Marvel Comics, then your first introduction to the Mandarin might have been in Iron Man 3, where Ben Kingsley played the role of a fake Mandarin. So let's be clear on this, and let me tell you this from now, that was a terrible introduction to the Mandarin. So within the Marvel Universe, the Mandarin is one of the most formidable villains. He's also a pain in the ass to Iron Man in particular, and an arch nemesis of Tony Stark, which explains why he was part of the plot of Iron Man 3. That said, the Mandarin is expected to make his first main appearance in the MCU in his upcoming movie, Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. So, before we get to see how the Mandarin will be portrayed in the next phase of the MCU movies, let's dive into his background. According to Marvel history, the man that would eventually come to be known as the Mandarin was born to an English prostitute in a small village of Habakon in Mongolia, China. Throughout his childhood, he was forced into labor until his mother died as a result of an overdose of opium. Left devastated at the death of his mother, the young Mandarin sought out revenge and killed her master, a man who he later realized was his father. After killing him, the Mandarin turned to a life of crime. Fought within the Communist Revolution in China. The Mandarin became a fugitive. While on the run, the Mandarin found the wreckage of an alien spaceship with a cave known as the Valley of Spirits. He also met the passenger Axon Carr in the wreckage, who was barely holding on for dear life. While going through the wreckage, the Mandarin found a set of 10 small cylinders and was completely mesmerized by the sight of them. And despite the pleas of Axon Carr, the Mandarin took the cylinders and killed them off. The Mandarin would later realize that those 10 cylinders contained enormous power, and by wearing them as rings, he began to study how to harness these powers. On one occasion, the Mandarin wore all 10 cylinders. At that point, his mind was taken over by all the warrior spirits trapped within the rings. They took over the Mandarin's mind, making their resurrection his ultimate goal. With the power of the rings, the Mandarin took control of the villages around the Valley of Spirits. This is when he took the name, the Mandarin. As the Mandarin, he became a weapons dealer. He was so powerful that even the Chinese army could not capture him. It was long before the Mandarin acquired his own piece of land, and he called it Mandarin City. Now an established, powerful man with a city of his own, the Mandarin sought to redefine his past, seeking to be known as a respectful and educated man rather than a criminal that he was. He made people believe that he was born from an English noblewoman and that he was the descendant of Genghis Khan. The Mandarin was so fixated on this version of his origins that he began to believe it himself as he desperately sought to erase the demons of his past. Now, the story of the Mandarin won't be complete without revealing how he became the sworn enemy of Tony Stark. The account of his dealings with Tony Stark is the inspiration behind the events of Iron Man 1. In Iron Man 1, Tony Stark is captured by the Ten Rings, a terrorist organization, during a missile demonstration in a war-torn Afghanistan. Stark is held captive in a cave before he storms out of the cave with his makeshift Iron Man suit. As you already figured out, there appears to be a relationship between the Ten Rings and the Mandarin, and in Iron Man 3, the relationship was explored even though it ended up being anticlimactic. In the comic version, the Mandarin, who was in league with a Chinese warlord named Wang Chu, lured Tony Stark into the country in a bid to force Stark to fully unlock the power of the Ten Rings. Just like in the movies, Tony Stark was captured with another prisoner named Hoi Yinsen. And during their time in captivity, Wang Chu ordered the duo to build weapons for him. Instead, Iron Man and Jensen teamed up to build the Iron Man suit, which Tony Stark would use to escape from captivity, while Hoi Yinsen sacrificed himself to make the escape possible. Consequently, the Mandarin unknowingly played a critical role in the creation of Iron Man, and according to Marvel folklore, the two have repeatedly clashed throughout their lifetime. When it comes to his superpowers, the Mandarin exercises his superhuman abilities using chi manipulation. As a result, he can survive for years without any food or water. With his ability to manipulate chi, the Mandarin can demonstrate superhuman levels of strength, but even without the power of his chi, the Mandarin possesses peak superhuman strength. The Mandarin is a superb athlete. He is well trained in a variety of martial arts, and he is a formidable opponent. He also possesses genius-level intellect and is regarded as one of the world's greatest scientists within the Marvel Universe. He is an authority in the Muklan science, which is science of an alien race that created the 10 rings wielded by the Mandarin. In the upcoming MCU movie Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings, the Mandarin will make his first appearance in the MCU as the father of Shang-Chi and will also be played by Tony Leung. The movie is set to be released in the United States on September 3rd. As the fourth phase of the MCU, we're not sure how much the MCU will stick to the comic book version of the Mandarin, but we are excited to see the appearance of the iconic villain in the Marvel Universe. This is Player One. Thank you for watching, and I am out. Later.